We are here. But, JJ, we got to kick it off, man. You had a lot of stock in this team. A lot of stock. You still do. It's only week one. We can't panic right now. The New York Jets rode up in Santa Clara in California. Shout out to my boy Dave in the comments. His team, the 49ers, and they walked away with an L 32-19. AJ, I got a question for you because you had them win the division. You had Aaron Rodgers having an MVP type season. High hopes. You picked them to win this game against the 49ers. So, was that performance just a bad performance or a bad sign?
I went back and forth on this, Joe. I'm going to say it's a bad performance. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for this week one because I think this is more about the Niners than it was about the Jets. The Niners are just as for real as most people thought. Remember, I said I thought they was going to start slow. That was my assumption. They're going to start slow. You know, you had the Brandon Ayuk situation going on in the offseason, right? You know, you got CMC. He hurt. He going to miss this game, right? Just a lot of different things going on. Trent Williams, you know, he missed a lot of camp too, waiting on his money to come through, right? And so my thought process was they're going to start slow, man. You know, Super Bowl hangover, all of that plays a part in everything too. So I'm like, yeah, they're going to start slow. And the Jets coming in, I know they had a bunch of stuff, you know, offseason going on too. But, you know, at the same time, like you said, I'm high on the Jets. I'm high on Aaron Rodgers. I'm high on that team as a whole. And most importantly, I'm high on that defense, really high on that defense. So I thought it would be, you know, a perfect match for them to go in, send an early message to the league. We here. And the Niners said, nah, bro, we still here. They went in there and they sent the message, man. It's not much else I can say. You did say, you know, they beat up on Rodgers all the time. It happened again. They was able to get pressure on Rodgers when need be. You know, I thought Rodgers, he didn't play an amazing game. I mean, 13 and 21, 167 yards. Interception, I was tipped around and intercepted. You know, it wasn't a terrible one in my opinion. Aaron Rodgers is known for fitting the ball in tight spaces. It didn't work out for him that time because of the tip pass. I think the most alarming thing for me was the fact that they couldn't stop the Niners' run whatsoever. Like, at all. Like, Brock Purdy, he did his thing, bro. But Mason, the backup coming in for CMC, going for 147 and a touchdown, 5.2 yards a carry on that defense. That's what shocked me more than anything. Maybe, okay, Rodgers has an off day. I understand. I think I even predicted this is going to be a low-scoring game because I believe in both defenses. But the Niners came in there and ran the ball down their throat the whole game. And so I look at it like, look, the Niners are for real. The Jets, you know, they got a new quarterback in there. He played his first game. It's a lot to take away from. It's a lot to learn from. I still think the connection between him and Garrett Wilson is going to be special. But all in all, you just went up against a better team week one at the end of the day. So I'm going to say bad game, bad performance. There were some bad signs, but I don't list the whole game as an overall bad sign. I just say bad performance. I think they'll be better going forward.
I'm going to agree with you. It was a bad performance. So I told you, you use the analogy first, and I kind of flipped on you. I said, hey, three things are true. They're always going to happen. Death, taxes, and the 49ers beating up on Aaron Rodgers. And that's what happened. But like you said, this says more about the 49ers. Like you said, Brandon Ayuk holding out. Trent Williams holding out. Ricky Purcell, right? Getting shot in the chest. He couldn't play. Christian McCaffrey out. So all the signs are pointing to, oh, the Jets have an advantage. And then they came out with rhythm. That's what I like. They didn't miss a beat. First off the Super Bowl, they came out and dominated. Now, what I will say about the New York Jets, I did see glimpse of hope for the New York Jets. That third drive, you know, the first drive, drop pass by Lazard wide open. Second drive, Breece Hall fumbles. Okay. Third drive, that third drive when they scored, that was one of the better drives I've seen all week one. So like week one, we saw drives where there were big plays, you know, or it was like a bad play, and then big play, bad play. This was like marching down the field, converting on third down consecutively, right? It was like going to your guy, Garrett Wilson. He was making good plays. Even Sauce Gardner made a good play on Brandon Ayuk early in the game. So you saw stuff there that's like, okay, this team is not going to be as bad as they were last year offensively. Like Aaron Rodgers is an upgrade. And they're playing in San Francisco. And they playing in California. It was just a mismatch. But I just knew it was going to be a blowout. Now, the 49ers, with the running game and everything, I thought that was awesome. With Trent Williams coming back, not being in training camp the whole time, and they didn't miss a beat, and that's scary for a lot of other teams. The 49ers ran the ball 38 times. They only run the ball more than 38 times, 3 times all last year. So that's a heavy dose. And the time of possession, they just dominated the time of possession. So I would say, like Aaron Rodgers would say, relax.
Mhm.
Relax. It's only week 1. I want to throw in the towel if I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah, you can't. It's way too early. Like you said, it's week 1. And they still got a promising future, man. It's just you went up against the NFC champs at the end of the day. You went up against the NFC champs. And that's just kind of how it is. Now, one could argue, yeah, like it's a bad sign because these are the type of teams you got to beat in order to get to that, in that promised land. You might not be at 49ers over there in the NFC, but this one over there is few in the AFC you got to see. You got to see the Chiefs. You got to see the Ravens. You got to see, maybe Buffalo. Buffalo had a pretty good week too. So, you got to see other teams in your division and in the AFC to get to the promised land. But again, it's week 1. So I'm giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. And it was Aaron Rodgers' first performance in over a year now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, Rodgers had great Aaron Rodgers moments. And then he had some moments where it's like, all right, maybe not. There was a poll put in the chat, in the Refuse to Lose chat. It's like, is Aaron Rodgers back? And I was like, man, right after the touchdown, yes. Stamp it, yes. And I kept on watching the game. I'm like,
I changed my vote.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he back just yet. Give him some time. Also noticed, and, this is something that you got to think about with him getting up there in age and him tearing out Achilles. That mobility is definitely not what it was. Now, maybe he still got to get that confidence back. But Rodgers of before he tore his Achilles is moving around in that pocket a lot more than what we saw. I seen him try to do like that rollout. He took 2 steps and threw it away. I'm like, yeah, he ain't trying to do too much moving around. So that's, that's something you got to pay attention to. Also, one other thing, man, they were struggling to get that run game going, bro. Now, again, this the Niners defensive line. So it's like you put a ton of stock into it, but at the same time, you got to take into account who they went up against. The Niners was one of the best defenses in the league last year, and they probably going to be one of the best defenses in the league again this year. And they healthy. Exactly. So, that's why I say I got to see a few more games against some other opponents before I can say these are bad signs, for the future when it comes to the Jets. But for right now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I want to see how they look when they play a contender again. But I think they'll have a few more games under their belt without playing as great as talent as the Niners, to the point where they'll be ready for that competition when it comes again.
Good measuring stick.
And they kind of low right now. But you got to build. We're gonna probably talk about building a lot throughout the